Good morning, everybody. Sure is good to see you all virtually once again. That's a nice morning this morning, nice and dry. Unlike it was when I went down to Paris, Kentucky there the other day. It was just pouring rain. Detroit was all flooded out. Fortunately, the Lord was looking after me, and 75 South where I had to go had no flooding. Every other interstate was flooded out in Detroit. So very thankful for that. This week's video was inspired by a devotional by Charles Stanley. Questions in time of calamity. Is God in control? Is the devil out of control? With the last year of shutdown due to the pandemic and all the wildfires we're getting out west and the flooding we're experiencing around here, kind of makes you wonder, has God lost control over Satan and the elements? Or are things just running amok, going wherever they want? Well, it's hard for us to understand the sequence of events due to our limited foresight. We can only see what's happening today, right? However, God is omniscient. That means he sees everything. He can see in the future, he can see what's going on today, and he knows what happened in the past because he's always been here. And on top of that, God is omnipotent, meaning he's all-powerful. After all, he created the heavens and the earth. Don't you think he can do something about controlling them? And God has a plan, and he tells us about it in his book. I hope you've read his book, and then you know what his plan is, don't you? In Isaiah 55, God says, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are his way higher than ours. We just can't even comprehend what all God can see and what all God can do, because we are so limited as our own powers, aren't we? God knew Adam would fail. He gave him free will, after all. And we tend to be leaning towards the evil. Now, Adam himself was leaning towards the good. But then he walked with God, didn't he? But he still was able to be tempted. And he failed, and now we have a lean towards the evil. But God already had a redemption plan in place. He sent Jesus. Well, that's something he already knew what he was going to do well in advance. Maybe this last year was to slow everyone down and to give the earth a chance to breathe. Maybe that was it. You know, you get less planes, less traffic, you got less pollution. And that gives a chance for the earth to breathe a little bit. Now you got billionaires sending their spaceships up. Kind of undid everything that happened in the last year, didn't it, as far as helping the earth out. But, you know, forest fires, they make room for new growth. They burn off the old dead stuff, and new stuff can grow. And floods help to wash everything down. It's all speculation, but hey, maybe, never know. Remember the Tower of Babel? Man decided to do what he wanted to do instead of filling the earth the way that God wanted him to. He was going to stay in one place, and they were going to build this tower to heaven. Well, it didn't work too well, did it? Because God had different plans for them. He changed their languages. You ever try to work with someone that you can't understand? It just, especially when you're trying to do something intricate, it just doesn't work now, does it? So God knew what he was doing. So Dr. David Jeremiah stated in his sermon on angels, the devil is a created being. He is not equal to God. He's not even in the same league as God. God plays in the majors. He plays in the minors. He doesn't have a chance. In Job, we know that Satan was limited as to what he could do to Job. He had to ask God every time he wanted to do something, now didn't he? He didn't just go ahead and do it. In Job 38, we are reminded that God laid the earth's foundations. Now, you think of Joseph, he likely thought God had forgotten about him. However, he was preparing him to be a great leader, as we're told in Genesis 41. In Genesis 1, we read the story of how God created everything, and then in Colossians 1, we read that Jesus is the image of the invisible God, or God in the flesh. All things were created through him, and he holds everything together. God has not lost control, and the devil is not out of control. God has a plan. Isn't that comforting? And if you're still in doubt, you can always read the end of the book. I have. In Revelations 20, we are told the devil and his crew are cast into the lake of fire. There you go. Now there's something to think about. I sure hope you're having a great day, because I am, and we'll talk to you later.